Almost every game has its own unique style that helps it stand out amongst the crowd, from games like Doom and its run-and-gun gameplay style, to games like Assassin's Creed which rely more on a player's stealth. And that's why in this channel I will be showing you how to create core gameplay mechanics inspired by popular games to allow you to improve on your own work. This video is heavily inspired by Outlast, with its battery system and its lighting. In a later video I will be showing off how to make the night vision, but just for now we'll be using a flashlight or a torch. Yeah, so get in, hope this helps. For this video I will be using the first person template, but you should be able to use this method in any template or in your own projects. It should be easy to implement. So let's just get straight into it. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some files just for later on. So for now I'm going to make torch, and that should be all we need for now. And actually I'm just going to drag in my models. I have my own 3D models. You can use yours or you can just use basic shapes, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, just for this video I'll be using my own, and I've made all my things in Blender. Blender is really helpful if you're beginning because it's just so user-friendly. Well, at least I find it user-friendly, and there's loads of videos on YouTube of how to use it and how to mess around with it, really. So let's just get straight into this then. Click onto your first-person character, onto any character that you have, and go into the event graph. And first of all, because I'm not using the gun or the VR for this, I'm going to be deleting the spawn projectiles and also these things at the top with the VR controllers and whatnot. And then now that's done, we want to go into the construction script, delete this just because it will help us later on when we delete all the guns and everything, just so it stops glitching and whatnot, just coming up with error code. So delete that, compile save, go back into your viewport, and then from FP_gun down, delete all of those. And then we want to keep the arms. I personally wouldn't normally keep the arms, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to do it, just in case you guys wanted to see it with the arms. So I'm going to drag that back a bit and then drag it forward, just to make it a bit more aligned. And then what we want to do with these arms is we want to come down here and click on the skeletal mesh. And because these arms were made for the gun, it has a grip point in the right hand, but the right hand's in the wrong place, and if you actually look into the game, you can't actually see the right hand. So the idea is we're going to have the light in that hand there. So we're going to leave that, and then go back into your, what's this called? Skeleton tree. And then, so you see the grip points under middle_03R. I'm going to find middle_03L, and then I'm going to create a socket, and then I'm going to rename that socket to grip point L. I'm going to save that, and I'm just going to move that a touch just to be a bit more centered with the hand. So save that, go in here, and then click on your arms, and then click add component, static mesh. You want to make sure the static mesh is parented to the arms, just so then we can actually attach it to that point that we just made. So we're going to go torch, and then we want to find our static mesh. Again, you can use like a box for now, or just like a cylinder, but I will be using mine. Oh, that's massive, so we're going to scale that down, and we want to check this lock, well at least I do because mine is massive, and it's a little bit big, so I'm going to lower that again. And then I want to, because that's in the wrong place, we're going to want to click on the parented socket, and we're going to find the point we just made, so grip point L, and then that's down there, but that's just because it's messed up all of these. So we want to click reset to default, but keeping the size that we just changed. And the viewport can be a bit, bit tricky when like moving stuff whilst the animations are playing. So what I'm going to do is uncheck real time. I am going to rotate this. You go down like that. Make sure it's all aligned and everything. Make it look nice and fancy. I'm also going to turn off the snapping. So for the movement, it's just this one, but for your rotation and your scaling, it's those two. Down, and then compile save that. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, looks pretty good. I am going to rotate it up slightly. See how that looks. Yeah, much better. So close that, go back into your first person character, and we're going to add the actual light now. So click on your torch and click spotlight. And yeah, make sure that's again parented to the torch, and we're just going to name that spotlight, and we want to reset these to default, and they should be, yeah, almost correct. I'm going to move that just to the tip. Make sure that it's like, I'm going to actually, you can change your camera speed by clicking on this little tab up here and dragging that down. Make sure that your light isn't like colliding here. Make sure it's actually sticking out, otherwise you'll just have some weird mesh clipping issues. And then I'm going to change these to my own custom ones, but you can do whatever you want. So I'm going to have that set to 15 and 35. So again, just have a play around, do whatever you want with it, and yeah. So that looks to be working pretty well. And I am going to actually make it a bit darker so we can see it better. So what I want to do is grab on U, 0.1, and I'm also going to remove this skybox just to make it a bit better. So select your sky sphere blueprint and delete that, and then also your, yeah, that should be fine. And then click on the arrow on next to build and click build lighting only. So the reason we build our lighting is just so things come out how they would actually look in game. So like you see how much that just changed then once it finished building the lighting, and yeah, as we can see it's much darker and it's just a lot better for our light. But yeah, play around with your torch settings, get it how you like it, and should be all good. What I'm going to do now is set up the being able to turn it on and off. So we're going to go into our first person character, our event graph, and we're going to go down here, but actually what we want to do is go into Edit, Project Settings, go down to Input, and then click on the arrow next to Action Mappings, and click on the little plus sign, and we're going to change that to Torch, or just call it whatever you want. And I'm going to, you can look for the key in here, but I'm just going to click on here and press F, and that should be good for now. And we're going to go in here, grab the event we just made, and what we want to do is grab a branch, so hold B, left click, go off here. Actually no, we don't want a branch, we want to add some more variables, and so we're going to get is torch on, and we also want battery percentage. We want to change battery percentage to an integer. Then we're going to duplicate this, delete that first bit, and then change that to max battery percentage. And we want to grab, we're actually going to compile save, and we're going to set battery percentage to 100 along with max battery percentage. Set them both to 100. With your max battery, that's just like your limit of how much battery you want, and that will come in handy later if you like, if you want to change up how, like if you want to get bigger batteries or like upgrade your light, so you can just change that one variable instead of having to go through your code and change it all. So yeah, that'll be a lot easier. And then you can compile save that, and we want to drag off battery, get, go off here and get greater than. And then from here, we want to create a new function. And from this function, we're going to call it toggle light. And then we want to click on there, and we want to add an input. So the input we want to add is just, we'll just call it allow for now. Keep that a boolean, and that is where we attach this to. So I'm going to drag out toggle light, connect that up to pressed, and then click on allow. And then from here we want another branch, so hold B, left click, connect that to there, connect the allow, and then we want another branch, so from true, go off of there, and get is torch on, and then just for the sake of tidiness I'm going to go and get a not boolean. So this is when the light is not on, it's gonna, from the true it's gonna turn it on, and from the false it's gonna turn it off. So it's just better for me, because from true is gonna be on, from false it's gonna be off. Okay, from here what we want to do is we want to drag out the spotlight and get set visibility. And also, before I forget, let's go back to the viewport, click on your spotlight, and scroll down to rendering, and then turn off visible. So that will just make it so it stops, the game starts with the light off, so it just makes it easier. And so we want to set, from the true we want to set the visibility to new visibility to on, sorry, and then get the set and set that to on. And then we want to copy and paste this. Then we're going to go from false to there, and we want to uncheck both of these and make sure the spotlight is connected to the target. It's an easy mistake to make when you're doing these copy and paste things, just because it's quite easy to forget. And then from the allow, we also want to set the false to turn it off. So that will just be, when you have battery set up, it will just turn off when the battery hits 0. Okay, for this video, let's just check this. Yeah, you can turn it on and off. So for this video, that's where I'm going to leave it, because I want to keep these videos kind of short. The video should be posted at the same time, just to keep them all, like, easy access. But yeah, for now that's all good. See you in the next video.